You know, it's interesting when we talk about history. I think very seldom do people know they're actually making history until after the fact. Right? Until after the books are written or the movies are made or the stories are told or the movements are created. I mean, it's usually after that. I do believe, though, that most people know they're doing something worthwhile. And they may not think it's historic, but they know it's worthwhile. They know it's important. They know it's significant. They know it can be a difference maker for people. I think it's an honor when it turns out to be something that we view as historic. I mean, if you look in 1955, Rosa Parks in the United States of America made history. I mean, this is a woman in Montgomery, Alabama that refused to give her seat up because she was worthy of that chair. And we teach children in the United States of America about Rosa Parks, and history views Rosa Parks in that fashion. But it's interesting, though, that Aurelia Browder and Susie McDonald and a 15-year-old African-American young girl by the name of Claudette Colvin and Mary Louise Smith did the same exact thing that Rosa Parks did. One of them on the same exact bus just 2 months earlier, on the same exact route, refused to give up her seat. Now, we don't say their name historically, but I would say this. While Rosa Parks is credited with making history, I don't believe that history would have been written the way it was had it not been for these other women as well. I think the one thing I really want you to know, that no one knows what you're truly capable of. Maybe you don't even know what you're truly capable of. What you're able to do, how you're able to excel, how you're able to climb, how you're able to achieve in your life. I think one of the beauties of this company is it helps reveal the best part of you. It's going to reveal the most frustrating part of you, too. But that's success. That's what success is. It opens up a window to who you are, and you go, gosh, I got to get better at that. And that's an area I need to improve in. And oh my goodness, this is a part of me. I love to be this part of me. And being around people that make you better, it allows you to be better. It allows you to become better. But nobody knows when they look at you what you're capable of. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You know, by the age of 21, Handel had composed 2 operas. But when you looked at Handel, you didn't think as a 21-year-old young man, this guy was going to compose 2 operas. Mozart, at the age of 5, composed a minuet, 9, a symphony, 12, his first opera. By the age of 13, he was composing concertos and sonatas. Nietzsche, at the age of 45, was writing his autobiography. I got to tell you something. I don't know what a 14-year-old has to say in an autobiography, but at the age of 14, he was writing an autobiography. Emily Dickinson was shy. She was a recluse. She would hide in a room away from people most of the time. I mean, it was hard to even know what was in her because you never saw her. But what people didn't know was within her were over 1,775 pieces of some of the greatest poetry that anyone has ever read. See, people don't know. People don't know what you're made of. People don't know what's inside of you. People don't understand. No one knows the capacity that you have inside of you to make your dreams come true. You know, because when you and I look at other people, we have no idea whose heart beats like that of a lion. We have no idea. I mean, you stand with your friends and you share your business with them, and they don't know that inside of you, your heart beats differently than theirs beats. But there's always that one person in that group that looks at you and maybe pulls you aside because maybe they're embarrassed in front of the group. They pull you aside, they look you in the eye, and they say, is it really true? Can I really, really make my dreams come true? I do know that history is often written by the people that are answering a call that's deep within themselves. It's deep within their souls, and it demands that they reach farther. I mean, who would have ever thought that an itinerant artist would travel from New England to the Carolinas and only make commissions on paintings that he was doing and he had to travel the whole eastern seaboard to make any kind of money? Whoever thought for one moment as they were watching this gentleman paint and paying him a handful of dollars to buy something from him, who would have ever thought that within this person, this one Samuel Morse was the inventor of the telegraph? What most people don't know was that his investor and business partner by the name of Alfred Vail, you've never heard of the name Alfred Vail. If you study your history, you'll understand who Samuel Morse is, but who's Alfred Vail? Alfred Vail was the business partner that actually created the pattern of dots and dashes. He was actually the one that labeled it Morse code. See, you may know the name of the man who's credited with making history, but his business partner was no less important in history. See, I'm convinced that both of them owned that moment. It's not just in the pin you wear. I promise you, it's not just in the pin you wear. It's in what you wear within yourself. It's within that part of you that says that, listen, I'm here and I'm going to do something special in my life, and I found the people and the place to do it with. Or that simple tailor. I mean, imagine walking into a tailor shop and somebody greets you with glasses and a pin cushion and walks you over and is very humble and polite and puts you on a small 5-foot riser in front of 3 mirrors and leans over and gets on his knees to hem up your dress or hem up your pants or take your suit in or let your suit out and is very kind in the process. See, sometimes you don't know as you look at people like that what's really going on inside of people like that. You don't know what they're thinking about as they're kneeling before you to serve you, to help you. Who would have ever imagined that tailor would have these ideas going on in his head, and one day that tailor would prove the theories of Copernicus, and we come to know him as Galileo. See, few people know what you're capable of and who you are in here. Or someone who spent only 3 months in school. 3 months. Now, understand, I barely got through college. Literally. I barely got into college, too, but that's another story altogether. But I want you to think about this, who somebody who spent 3 months in school, 3 months with any kind of formal education. A gentleman that would give you the means to see the light. In the person of Thomas Edison, who now owns 1,000 patents. A divorced grandmother from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the United States. I can see her in Milwaukee, this grandmother sweeping her front porch on a Friday and making room for the family on a Sunday, to gather everybody in the house, to hug everybody, to feed everybody, to spend time in the kitchen and say, it's going to be ready in 30 minutes. Everybody be ready in 30 minutes. I'll have the food. It'll be served for you in 30 minutes. See, you don't know that inside this one woman, this one Golda Meir, you don't know that this would be the first prime minister of Israel. This would be the woman who has a heart that beats like that of a lion. You don't know that. But she owns that. She has that. You know, it's interesting, in the United States, the first part of our Declaration of Independence of the United States of America, it establishes our rights of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. It represents kind of a global call to a vision for a full life. It's more than just your rights. It's this global call for this vision to a very full life. I really think the genius of Thomas Jefferson as the chief architect of the Declaration of Independence, its chief author, I really believe the genius was placing strategically the most important words of that document at the end of the document and not the beginning of the document. He didn't place at the beginning, it was this global call for this vision for a full life, but the brilliance of the document was in the words at the end. Quote, "We mutually pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor." It was responsibility. It's responsibility. Now, I'll say this, no one's asking you for your life. It's a good deal. No one's asking you for your fortune. I mean, Jeff wants you to make one and keep it. No one's even asking you for your sacred honor. It's this simple. Here's the call for tonight. Here's the call for Neora. Here's the call to you. You decide to stand up in your life for the things you believe. You tell the people that you love them, and you have things you want to accomplish in your life with them. And then you bring your best. It's your best. That's all it is your best. All that we're asking from you is your best. The opportunity to live your dreams is great. The responsibility required to do so is paramount. But the combination of those two is history in the making.